They told you manifesting was about working harder, pushing against resistance, and chasing what you desire. But what if I tell you Neville Goddard revealed it was about stepping inside imagination, where the real world begins to take shape? This is how it unfolds when Neville explained that consciousness is the only reality and everything you see is a reflection of your inner state. This is where the illusion deepens, because the world you think is solid is actually only a mirror of what you have assumed to be true. This is why it matters that Neville insisted your assumptions, not your wishes, bring your desires into existence. This is the turning point when you realize he was not teaching theory, but practical methods of reshaping life by imagination. This is how freedom announces itself when you hear Neville's words. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is where circumstances lose power because your imagination is greater than facts. This is how destiny is rewritten when you begin to dwell in the state of the thing desired until it feels natural. This is why Neville declared that desire is the voice of God within you, calling you to embody it now. This is how the secret reveals itself when you accept that what you persist in imagining will crystallize in the outer world. This is where resistance melts because you no longer fight but simply assume. This is why feelings are everything, since feeling is the secret doorway into manifestation. This is how imagination transforms when you use sleep and drowsy states as portals to impress the subconscious. This is where the mystery becomes simple, as Neville reminds you that you are already the operant power. This is why effort fails, but assumption succeeds, because assumption bypasses struggle. This is how miracles happen quietly when your inner conversations change. This is where the truth pierces, because the world outside bends to the world inside. This is why Neville's words echo, change your concept of yourself, and you will change the world. This is how manifestation becomes effortless when you live in the end. This is where the story shifts because Neville showed you that you are the author, not the victim. Can you imagine what happens when you finally accept that every scene you play in your imagination is a seed planted in the garden of reality? This is how the seed time and harvest principle works, because everything you sow in imagination must appear in time. This is where the veil lifts and you realize there is no delay except your disbelief. This is why persistence becomes the golden rule. Persist until assumption feels natural. This is how the invisible becomes visible when the subconscious accepts the new state. This is where Neville's genius shines because he gave you the tools of revision to rewrite any past event.